Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
There is a strong reliance on the fact or the hypothesis that this did not have bad motives, right? There's a lot riding on this because you know what we did when a few thousand Americans died from 9/11?
Right.
Right or wrong,
Well,
probably,
Afghanistan.
we don't let this stuff go in this country. 500,000 people plus dead. Now, I guess the reason we're not taking military action is because we have this strong assumption that, maybe it was just who knows, it came from the wet market or who knows what. Okay, let's say it came from the lab, but it was an unintentional leak. Is that just something that we just
Well, I mean, there
are
people
forced to
died
go
too.
with? And
There people died too.
how many other people died?
We don't know.
Well, I'll tell you the stats, 4,500.
Yeah, I don't know.
81,000 cases in China, 4,500 dead, and that's it. Now, do I actually believe that?
Yeah.
Probably not. But do I think they did this on purpose? Dude, I have zero idea. Do I think they're willing to sacrifice 4,500 of their own people to accomplish a greater evil? Well, sure. We will all take that bet, right? If we're serious about it.
I mean, what was their motive? You think they were going to think they were going to destroy all of us? by
Well,
this?
I'm timid to say this because I do feel like that this does venture off in the conspiracy slightly, and I don't want to lose focus and be considered a quack, because I really feel like that everybody should be focusing on the origins of this thing and the real facts behind it. But in the entire world last year in 2020, there was one economy that grew, China's.
Exactly.
But I think that if you look at their economy, they want us to continue to be around and borrow more money and buy more stuff from them. So I think I would have a hard time believing that a fewer of us would be beneficial to them.
I truly, again, this is just my pure subjective opinion. I think that this was an accident, and I think they're just horrible at the cover up. And it just looks really bad on them, and my animosity towards them is really how they've handled it. I felt like if they would have been transparent up front and honest about this thing and brought in the world as a whole and tried to stomp this thing out, we could have saved tremendous amount of lives. We could have had, such a reduced economic impact. I mean, we're focusing on the deaths that are just specific to COVID, but who knows how many deaths that could have been attributed to that because of the total collapse of society with the economic shutdown.
Exactly.
So the thing is that the web is nastier.
Yes,
than
the
we're
web
giving
is
it
nastier.
Credit for.
Look, I totally agree with that. Okay, the fact is they should have followed the protocol, which is to contain it right where it's at. Okay, but it's not outside of normal behavior for human beings to do these kinds of things. Remember the nuclear leak in Japan that happened not too long, Fukushima, I believe it was. The by the book, they were supposed to release radiation at a certain point to keep the plant from overheating. This is for their own safety, their own people. It's not like they're going to injure Americans; they're going to injure their own people. But yet, the psychology of actually releasing radioactive matter and so on, the book by the book, they were supposed to do it, but they didn't do it. So it's not just. This isn't like unique to human behavior, they do have a closed system where they like to control. They have to make the party look good all the time. That's how it stays in power.
Yeah,
but isn't
sense.
What our parties do too?
Yeah, you're right.
That's a
fair
system.
point. That is a fair point, and I think I'm with you, Chad, that if I was betting, I think I'm betting that this was probably a mistake because I'm not sure that it's clear to. And plus, let's keep in mind, America was the hardest hit, but every country around the world was hit. So if this is actually a strategy from China, that takes some balls because you are attacking every country around the globe. Now, do I think they have those balls? If there's really a good end game in mind, possibly.
Well,
but
that circles back. Okay, if this one was a mistake, you still have to remember, what are they doing with this virus strain in there? Why are they, is it good research, bad There's a lot of conspiracy that has been, or narratives been pumped out of that as to what they were doing with it in particular. Were they working on this thing to try and be preventative for global use? Or was it looked at as and I've heard this, I'm not saying I support it, but as a future opportunity for a type of weaponized use?
So how would this meeting go? Let's use our imagination for it. So let's say the CCP knows that they have this devastating virus that could kill people in the world, and they sit around in a meeting like we are right now and say, okay, we're going to release this thing, but just to make it really cunning, we're going to release it on our people first.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't know the outcome. I mean, they can't. How would you do that?
Oh, Fadi, I totally disagree with that.
They knew the outcome.
Dude,
that it would
if they knew that they had to endure 81,000 cases and 4,500 deaths, but they knew how to lock it down. But part of that was because it originated here, no one would ever pin it on the fact that this is a offensive outreach. Dude, come on, man. You and I would come up with that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they take.
I would not come over that.
They take that deal.
They take that deal.